IPMNation.com.
Counterpunch Media Live in 3, 2, 1.
Live from the Counterpunch Studios in Columbus, Ohio, you're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy on IPMNation.com. If you're not going to Mortal Up, why not just stay in bed?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is not a drill.
Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Welcome. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out for what is now the 441st episode of the number one rated all-natural being in the gong heard around the world. Your snooze alarm's sworn enemy. I know it's 7 a.m. Eastern, but still, it could be. Radio that sparks your smart. Broadcasts that build your strong and unleash your legendary, because if you're here, even though I can't pronounce it this early in the morning, if you're here, you have a legend to let loose. It's my thought that we're serving up the best thoughts in the history of thinking. And I'm fired up to be your virtual hitchhiker, riding shotgun as you get into your day. So what do you say? Here's your opportunity to mortal up, to crush your can't. Thank you very much, Lee Rowley. To crush your can't and your critics. Lee isn't a fan of crushing your critics, or at least he didn't write that. I wrote that. So what do you say? Let's get ready to go kick in some doors. A lot to get to this morning. And thank you so much. Hey, listen, if you're listening on iHeartRadio, someone approached me yesterday, so they listen on iHeartRadio. If you're listening on Spotify or even catching the podcast, the on-demand podcast on iTunes, thank you so very much. It's an odd time of the day for some people to be getting up and getting out the door and into this and that and everything else. So thank you for catching our rebroadcast on any of those, Spreaker, all the usual suspects. Thank you so very, very much for that. All right. Also, I wanted to thank Shane from over on Facebook, who said, hey, you know what, Brian, I'm out the door, but I have to tell you, I used the QR code and it worked really well. So let's do this. Here's the QR code. So if you're like, I have to leave at like 10 after 7 or 10 after 6 or 10 after 5, whatever time it is, wherever you are, and you go, man, I'd like to be able to take in the show in case there's anything, what are the chances? But there could be something useful that you can use to jumpstart your day. So now all you do is hit the QR code, and thank you to Shane for letting me know that, hey, you know what? This QR code actually worked. So I'll throw it up on the screen now. Hit it with your phone, and you can take the show with you out the door. Grab your cup of coffee, grab the newspaper, whatever, the car keys, and head out the door, or your L pass, your bus pass, whatever you're taking. Head out the door with that, hit the QR code, and then you've got the show right up there. Also, don't forget, you can call in this morning, 833-MIND-UPS. I'll do the math, 833-646-3877. It's a toll-free call. You can call right into the studio, hang out with us for the big 441. Also, you're welcome to text us here. The messages come right in as well, 833-646-3877. And I'll tell you what, if you text in this morning, and then, because I should know this, I don't, I apologize, I should, but I don't. If you text in this morning and in your phone bill, they go, oh, well, that text cost you 3 cents. I'll tell you what you do. Text me this morning. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know what you're thinking. And then when you get your phone bill, say, oh, here's the 3, they cost me 3 cents to send that text. You send me, or just instant message me or tweet me or whatever. Just tell me how much that text cost you. And then I'll go ahead and figure out some way of Zelling, or what are some of the other things people use today. Venmo, Zelle, do transfer. I don't think it really makes sense to write a check for 3 cents. But here's the deal. This morning, if you have a fee for texting me here in the studio, send me that fee, and I'll go ahead and make sure that you get rebated for that. So see, even now your texts are free. If you want to give us a text, you're most certainly welcome. 833-MIND-UPS. All right, so here's when people say, oh, well, what's coming up this morning? Here's one that I thought we could kick around. Let's see what this does.
Now that you're up and the day is coming, we're dedicated to deciphering the writing on your wall.
Hey, we might have, did we do that yesterday? Dedicated to deciphering the writing on your wall? I don't know. Could have been. I don't know. Oh, let's try this one. Let me just get this one out too. Maybe this is a better one to use for this morning.
What's on the menu for the next 30 minutes?
Yeah, 25.
Well, we play less music than any other radio station in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Guaranteed.
You get that?
That's our, if it's your favorite song, you'll never hear it here. Promise.
And I have to tell you a little bit about that. If it's your favorite song, you never hear it here. I talk to Matt Connerton all the time over from IPM Nation. He goes, you could play music if you wanted to. You absolutely could do that. There's this, you have this fee, and then you do this, you do that, but you have the right to rebroadcast music and everything else. And I'm just not all that sharp. I'm just not smart enough to figure out how to do it. So that's why. And then, we have different companies call us from time to time. And they go, oh, wouldn't you like to be able to say, oh, we play the best music? And I'm thinking to myself, here's a little tip. If you're in the B2B community, business-to-business community, and you're cold calling someone for work, at least listen a little bit, at least research, if you will, a little bit what they do, and then don't pitch them on saying, oh, we could create one heck of a jingle for you if you just wanted to let everyone know that you play the absolute best tunes every morning. How is that a lead-in for anything you're going to want? Speaking of lowlifes making headlines, that would be a perfect one for it, wouldn't it? Where you go, oh, yeah, I'm a huge fan of the show. I love the fact that you play, top 40 hits. I haven't played a top 40 hit ever. And the sales guy's going, oh, no, but we could create a great jingle. This would really be something else. So save yourself the embarrassment of making a cold call like that and going, hey, because I asked, hey, so you're a fan? Oh, yeah, love the show. It's just great. Oh, really? What's your favorite song that we play? Oh, I don't know. Like Inagata Davida, It's Raining Men from the Weather Girls. You just play so many, right? Dueling banjos, Riding the Storm Out, REO. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. You get where I'm going with this. Never played a lick of it. Not a one. So I wrote that as a memory of what that sales call was like. All right, let's do this. We're good. Oh, we already did a station break, so we don't have to mess with it. I say this morning, let's jump right into lowlifes making headlines. If I can figure out where that is, let's try this one.
Hot heads wrapped in thin skin covering brittle brains atop balsa wood spines. It's time for lowlifes making headlines.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's time for lowlifes making headlines. And this morning, another general sense. I don't want to throw the people under the bus for this one because I say all the time, it's not about targeting, right? Because the media writes itself. We could go on and on and on about things going on in the media. But here's one that I kind of picked, and I thought, really, this is what it's come to? And it's kind of a dual purpose thing because, one, there are some doctors and some studies that theorize that I ended up with a brain tumor because I held my phone like this all the time talking. Yes, of course, yeah, half a go, gotcha, yeah, I'll be there on time, sure. I'm not going to be there on time. Who are you kidding? Do you know me? There's no way I'm going to be on time. Yes, right, okay, good, yeah, I'll make sure, I'll stop, loaf of bread, got it. And that ended up giving me a brain tumor because they say some of these Wi-Fi waves may not be good for the human mind. So I was out and about walking around yesterday, and the number of people I saw with these wireless earbuds, do you know anything about them? These Apple iPods where you put them in the ear, but there's no cable, there's no cord, right? It plugs. And I got to tell you, I don't know. What if they find out years from now that there's something to that I ended up with a brain tumor before, because of the Wi-Fi or the 3G or 4G or 5G, whatever kind of Gs we're at now. What if that really did do something to pervert a cell to such a degree that that's what started the tumor in me? So I see these people walking around thinking they're bathing their brain in Wi-Fi signals just to get wireless, right? It's like new bling. It's like, oh, instead of diamond earrings, they have these iPod things ear pods. And I'm thinking, how great can that be for your brain itself? I don't know. I'm just saying some of the experts are leading us to believe that could very well be the case. So but that's not a low life making headline. What is I saw this article yesterday about a college football coach. And again, I'm not going to name the name of the place, but this morning's Low Life Making Headlines is the college football coach says, well, it's important training all these young athletes and this and that, getting them ready for the real world. He says, when it comes to team meetings, I only do team meetings like 20 minutes at a time because the players start to shake. They have tremors. I know what tremors are all about, right? But they start to shake and they're looking around and they're all spastic. And he goes, so here's what I decided to do. Every 20 minutes during the team meeting, we take a social media timeout so that these dimwits can go to their phones and get their fix of whatever their favorite social media feed is. Oh, I got to be able to comment. Oh, I got to see how many people like that. Oh, there's a chance that me snapping that guy with a towel in the locker room went viral. I got to check. I can't even focus. So then I'm thinking, wait a minute. You go to these halls of higher education. You go to these pinnacles of just mental pizzazz to teach you, allegedly, how to deal with the real world. And then, oh, yes, we're molding young men and young women's minds and bodies in collegiate sports. And then you go, okay, well, instead of dealing with the fact that you're so worried about what's going on in your social media feed that you can't focus in real life. You're so caught up in the virtual. It's like one big, what is it? Video game, right? It's like one big video game. You can't even concentrate for more than 20 minutes. So this coach decides the best way to do it. The best way to do it is to give them a social media break. So if you're a heroin addict, the best way to do it is every 20 minutes, give you a little shot of heroin, right? If you're a cocaine addict, if you're an alcoholic, I guess, if you, if you like fruit-filled chocolates, like who doesn't, right? Every 20 minutes, whenever the shakes hit, I should get a fruit-filled chocolate, right? Just as like a Pavlovian dog, right? Where I start to shake and I start to get the tremors and I start to get, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So this coach says, yeah, well, we'll give them a break. Instead of saying, hey, Needle, just pay attention. Put it out of your mind. Focus on what you're doing right now in this particular moment and all of time. Oh, no, let's get over to social media and see if I posted a video earlier of a squirrel surfboarding. Yeah, well, I want to see if it needs to go viral. Right? Because I want to, you know what I mean? I got to know. Am I getting a lot of thumbs up from people that follow me? Am I getting new followers? Am I getting new likes? Oh, speaking of new likes and friends, I did a little thing the other day. I want to thank the 7 people that unfriended me on Facebook after my Jesse Smollett or Smollett or Smollett, however he pronounces it, my little Jesse Smollett rant. Not so much a rant, but just saying, hey, look, now that all the charges are tossed, why would you poke the FBI with a stick? Why would you say to the FBI, yeah, well, these all got washed. I'm innocent. Everything's good. Now the FBI's looking into it, and they're looking into the letter that you received. I don't know. Maybe not a good idea. Don't know. I think I would have waited for the FBI to come back with their charges before I went, I'm free. So, but thank you to the 7 people that unfriended me on Facebook because they thought that was politically incorrect. It cleared out room for 7 people that I really dig. So thank you so much for hitting the exits on the way out. I super, super appreciate it. All right, let's hop over into the feed. I want to say hello, see what everyone's up to this morning. Oh, look at that. It says I'm live now. Didn't even know. What would you? Hey, so it worked. All right, so Kathy, good morning to you as well. Thank you for joining us, Lee. Run your critics through a wood chipper is better, but perhaps a tad harsh. No, you can get those you can get the internals of a wood chipper replaced if they start to grind. You know what I mean? No, not at all. I don't think it's too harsh at all, Lee. Really, you know what I mean? Now Sears is out of business, so it's not like you can get replacement parts at Sears, but I'm sure Amazon can get you replacement parts for a wood chipper. Brian, morning, buddy. Sloughing at work before the action commences. Well, what's the action that's commencing today, Brian? Is it a national holiday? Have I missed something else? Good morning, brother Henry. I hope you're feeling better. How's everything going on the book? I would love to hear all about it. Also, and belated happy birthday to Rita, if you will, here in the thread. Heather says, so bad. Well, thank you, Heather, very much. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very much. I super appreciate that. Lee says, from what I've read, Bluetooth earbuds are substantially safer than holding a cell phone. Oh, okay, good. Well, thank you, Lee. See, here's some news you can use. From what I've read, Bluetooth earbuds are substantially safer than holding a cell phone up to your ear. I can deduct some studies on this. Oh, great. Thank you. So I could be wrong, but I hope I am wrong, because all these people running around with earbuds, I hope they are substantially safer. But at one point early on, don't forget, they had doctors smoking cigarettes telling you I'd rather fight than switch, right? That was safe too. But Lee, I would love it if you have any other information. Heather, good morning to you as well. Brett, good morning. Nice to see you. Thank you so very much for hanging out here at All Natural Being. We're just talking this morning, and I want to get into obstacles as opportunities, right? Because it ultimately turns out that maybe life is one big obstacle. Maybe life is one big challenge. Maybe life is one big derailment after another. And we're just we're like in a test tube going, how is she going to handle this derailment? What is their counterpunch going to be? But we're also talking about, very simply, that if you can't go 20 minutes without checking your social media feed, I'm thinking it's time. Maybe, I was talking to a dear friend of mine early this morning who said, yeah, I've gone dark on all things social media. I just went ahead and stopped. And he goes, the amount of free time that I have throughout the day is unbelievable. So all I'm suggesting, not that you and I bail on social media, although we could very well do that, and I think we'd all be happy if we did. I'm not suggesting that we do that. I'm simply suggesting that if you can't go 20 minutes without paying attention in a meeting, right? It's like it's same thing as having a nicotine craving. These collegiate level, this was a high level college football team. These guys were like shaking and they couldn't pay attention, and it's, you know what I mean? Like they had Parkinsonism or something like that, because they had to check their social media feed, their mind. So how can you focus on playing a football game, right? It was like if you're out there and you're a defensive back and all of a sudden you go, oh yeah, I wonder if that post of mine in the locker room earlier went viral. And all of a sudden you get run over by a blocker for a guy that just caught the pass and scored a touchdown. You go, oh, I don't know how I missed that. Oh, I know how you missed it. You're busy focusing. You're past your 20-minute limit. You're busy focusing on all of your social media crap. That's how you missed the tackle. That's how you got waylaid in that block, because you weren't paying attention. That's what this coach thinks. No wonder he got fired from his last gig. That's what this coach thinks would be a great idea, is to give them social media breaks so that they can get their fix every 20 minutes. Got to tell you, that made it easy to make this morning's Low Life making headlines. All around. Good morning, Alice. Nice to see you. Good morning to you as well. And Marcellus, thank you so very much for joining us here in the thread. Super, super appreciate it. I see that Lee is here. Lee, could you put up the link, in case anyone didn't get it last time, the link for the AIM book that you have out now, and we're getting ready to sit down and get that recorded. It's an honor to be doing the voiceover for Lee's book, right? So you can read it or you can hear it. And what I'm really excited about is that we're going to do a little bit of interviewing. So at the beginning of each chapter, yes, I'll be voicing over his book, but there'll be a little bit of question and answer between he and I in the beginning, and then we'll get in the chapter. So every chapter, you get a little behind the mind of Lee. And I know you're thinking, like, oh, look, I didn't bring my spelunking gear. I don't know if I can get behind that mind. I don't know if that's a cave I'm willing to traverse, but I'm telling you, it'll be a riot if you do. The guy, you know what? I think he's a closet comedian. He can write comedy like it's going out of style. So you'll get a little bit of that. You'll get all the great insight into his book. So, Lee, if you'll post a link to that here in the thread, if you're still here, I would super appreciate it. And then, Henry, too, I also want to know what you think about this college football coach that wants to give his players every 20 minutes another social media hit. Unbelievable. All right, let's get to it today. We wanted to talk about obstacles as opportunities, because what if we're right? What if we've gotten to the point where life isn't supposed to be a bed of roses. Life isn't supposed to be easy, right? That it's the challenge, as I said yesterday, the novelty, the nuance of the now. Okay, Lee, thank you very much. Marcellus, I'm here in Columbus, Ohio, visiting family. Well, Marcellus, how long are you here for? Let's grab a cup of coffee and then ignore each other while we're busy checking our social media feeds. We could do that. It could happen. Wouldn't that be great if someone could get a picture of Marcellus and I having a cup of coffee? Maybe Lee's in town, right, having a drink, and then we're both busy on our phones because we're over our 20-minute time limit to stop the shakes. That would be great. Marcellus, let me know. Shane, good morning. Thank you for watching. Shane, I thanked you earlier today in the show, talking about an obstacles and opportunity, because Shane's like, oh, I got a little bit of an obstacle. I got to get out the door, got to get on the road, got stuff to do, can't listen to Brian blather on all morning. So I'll just hit this QR code. So Shane, thank you very much for mentioning that yesterday in the Facebook feed. He hit the QR code, which I can put up again real quick. And, out the door, he was ready to go. Was able to take the show with him. There it is. I'll put it up on the screen now. Don't forget 833-MIND-UPS. And I also had made a shout out earlier. Let me know if the phone company charges you 3 cents, 5 cents. I'm willing to go as high as a dime. If a phone company charges you a dime to place a text to 833-646-3877, I'll figure out a way of getting you that dime back. So how's that? Right? How's that for how's that for a guarantee? But Shane, thank you very much for letting me know that the QR code was working. Okay, Lee put up the post in the feed to his book. Thank you very much. Brett Cran says, no kidding, 7 people bailed. People are strange when it comes to listening and engaging with people and things which they disagree. I'm with you, brother. Right? I love engaging with people I disagree with, because what if I'm wrong? And look, it's early in the morning, right? So, but by the end of the day, chances of me being wrong, it just seem to climb exponentially. But I dig learning when I'm wrong, so that's the novelty that we talked about yesterday. Brett says, instead of trying to understand why or just laughing it off, it's cognitive dissonance that gets reinforced every time they disconnect. I'm seeing it more and more these days. I absolutely agree with you. And that sense, right? I think, not like we're going to go all conspiracy, but Brett, I think there's all kinds of people that dig the fact that there's this cognitive dissonance and we're being divided. Because I think at the macro level, right, you divide people, they're easier to control. But within the micro level, within your own mind, if you're busy dividing yourself from your heart's highest priority, if you're busy dividing yourself from what truly makes you smile, you're easier to conquer. And that's why I think that's the one that grabs me the most, is the cognitive dissonance we suffer within ourselves. Marcella says, good. Shane says, my pleasure. All the coaching is doing is enabling this dysfunction. Henry, I absolutely agree. So and I don't want to mention the college name because people will go, oh, he got fired from that college. Oh, well, there's some breaking news. There's a shocker. Somebody hit the gong. Yeah, that guy got fired. Well, maybe a prayer bowl. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Right. So, but now that he's in a professional football team, you get all kinds of people going, well, I can't believe you threw that coach under the bus. So we won't name him, but I think you're absolutely correct, Henry. All he's doing is enabling. All he's doing is ingraining. All he's doing is etching, right? It's just like he was a chisel into the marble, engraving that very thing into the minds of these athletes. Hard to believe. Alex, good morning. Thank you so very much for joining us here this morning. Hope everything's going well with you and yours. We're talking about obstacles as opportunities and how life may very well, maybe we were given the wrong, who was it, the intelligence guy yesterday, the former CIA guy going, oh, maybe I was given bad information. What is his name? Somebody tell me his name. Who was the guy that was so sure that everything was collusion and treason and this and that and everything else? I forget his name. Not Clapper, the other one. Brennan. Or maybe Brennan comes out and says, oh, maybe I was given wrong information. Well, what if you and I were given some wrong information in our early days? What if life isn't necessarily always roses? What if the universe isn't, right? Like, that's one of the problems I have with the motivational cartel and all these other people. Oh, the universe, all this feel-good baloney that you hear. Oh, the universe it's watching out for you in the palm of its hand. Smack, yeah, like you sticking a hand out trying to catch a fly that's been bugging you all dinner long, right? You go, here, fly, here's some honey. And as soon as that fly lands, you go, right, that's what the universe is doing. Well, what if that's the false information, right? Oh, James Comey was another one. Thank you very much, Brett. Alex Lee says, Alex, it's not even noon yet. How are you functioning? I know. Well, it can't be a full moon. I'll give you that much. We know that about Alex. Nice to say. Alex must have maybe, he's too young to have to get up during the middle of the night to hit the little boys' room. So I don't know. Something else is up. But Alex, nice to have you here. Thank you so very much. Brett says, James Comey. Yeah, all of them. Well, maybe I got some bad information. Well, maybe you and I got bad information. Maybe the challenges of life are what give it its verve, right? Maybe our obstacles, if we look at them as opportunities, everything that is an attempt at, here's a term Marcellus will like, everything that's an attempt to chop block us, what if it's the universe going, well, let's see what their counterpunch is. Let's see what she's going to do. Let's see how much grit he really brings to this particular moment in all of time. So maybe we were given some faulty information. Oh, life is all good. Life is, you remember Kevin Bacon in Animal House, all is good, all is good. And then he gets run over by the crowd at the end of that flick. Man, you know what? It's hard to believe that flick is as old as it is. I guess that's to say it's hard to believe I'm as old as I am. But in any event, what if we were given some faulty information? What if you and I'm not saying that we go out and look for obstacles. I'm not saying we pull like a Chevy Chase or a Dave Letterman trip and we trip ourselves. But what if we begin to look at our obstacles? What if we begin to look at speed bumps? What if we begin to look at some of the things that come to chop block us and going, now wait a minute, I think there's a gem buried in here. Right? I don't want to be all cliche and all glib and talk about, a piece of coal, only under pressure does it release a diamond. But there could be something to that. What if you and I under pressure? What if when we're faced by those obstacles, it really is a test of our grit, of our stamina, of our agility? And maybe, like progressive adaptation, maybe that's one of the things that we're supposed to do. Maybe the faulty information is that everything's good in life. Well, maybe everything in life isn't always good. What's good is the counterpunch that we bring. What's good is when we go, yeah, I get it. That's a sharp stick for sure, but here's what I'm going to do to parry that sharp stick away. Here's what I'm going to do to block that shot. Here's what I'm going to do to square my shoulders and bring the counterpunch. Ian, good morning to you. Hope everything's going well across the pond. Any Brexit news for us? Because, I'd like people tuning in the morning to go, oh, yeah, no, I've got my finger on my pulse. I've actually heard from someone that's going through Brexit. And the breaking Brexit news, Ian, we would appreciate it here in the closing minutes. Thank you for joining us, brother. We're talking this morning about obstacles as opportunities, how to look at life and go, that's all you brought? That's what you're trying to do to derail me? And then rising to that particular moment in all of time. To know that, yes, maybe the universe is ultimately conspiring with you, right? Maybe, talk about collusion. Maybe there is an ultimate collusion, right, with the universe. The universe goes, no, you just bring the counterpunch. We'll keep backing you, right? You're not going to be sitting over in the corner sniveling and whining and complaining, oh, woe is me, woe is me. Why did this have to happen to me? Maybe the universe is waiting to see if you're going to sit in the corner or you're going to square your shoulders and go, that's it. That's all you did. That's all you brought. You picked the wrong guy. You picked the wrong girl to victimize. Let's go ahead and see how this works out for us. It could very well be. Maybe that's what we should have been taught. Look, life as a whole is a battle. It's uphill, right? But in order to be able to meet the challenges of life, you have to have an uphill kind of mindset. And everyone said, oh, well, we need a level playing field. Maybe there's nothing about life that's a level playing field. Maybe it's supposed to be uphill. Maybe the progressive adaptation that we talk about when it comes to building muscles, like Derek Noel says every Monday morning, when he comes on and does the spot for Derek Noel Fitness. How'd you like that for a plug, right? He comes on every morning and go, oh, it's all about progressive adaptation when you work a muscle. Well, what if your mental muscle is like, yeah, bring the damn count. Just bring whatever you're going to bring, fate. Bring whatever you're going to do to try to derail me. I can't wait to figure out how I'm going to beat you with my counterpunch. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning with an all-new Low Life's Making Headlines. Please don't forget, text me. Let me know. Send me an instant message. Any of the different things. Ian's got to have a whole bunch of Low Life's Making Headlines. Let me know if you want someone special for tomorrow. We'll do that. But until that time, remember, your obstacles, I think they really are coming as gifts. I think your obstacles could very well be an opportunity for you to rise, to bring your own bold. And as Heather says, we'll leave with Heather's note. Heather, thank you very much. Have an absolutely fantastic day by putting your heart's highest priority top of the list. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
IPMNation.com.